Okay, good morning, YouTube. My name is Brianna, but a lot of people call me Bree. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a home gym tour. Got my new wireless mic, DJI Mic 2, and I'm just gonna go through the setup of the home gym and demonstrate some exercises that we can do at our home gym. Obviously, there's a ton of things we could do, but I put together a list that I'd like to show today. And yeah, let's get started. I'll start with just a tour of the gym overall. Just the tour overall here. So we've got a squat rack, and then we've got a belt squat attached to our squat rack. Then we head over here. We've got this lat pull down cable row machine. Over here, we've got a functional trainer. This is the dumbbell area. And we have room for bumper plates here and bench as well. And we've got mirrors set up, of course. This is where we keep all of our barbells. And then we have a wall with a bunch of attachments and stuff as well. So that's all that, along with some bands and things. All right, we are all set up, and I'm going to go ahead and show you some movements on the squat rack. So obviously there's a lot of things you can do with a squat rack, but I'm just gonna show you a few things that have been in some of my programs lately, and you can see the versatility of having a squat rack in your home gym as well. So classic to start, of course, barbell squat rack. So I'll go ahead and go do that. I've already got my bar racked up here. And for just a regular barbell back squat, you just do about like hip distance apart, toes facing forward. And as we say, you go ass to grass on your squat. That's a simple barbell back squat. And another thing that's been part of my most recent program is actually barbell sumo squat. So I'll just go right into that. So same thing, gonna get underneath our barbell here. Placement of barbell, by the way, you wanna have it like right below your like neck bones and then resting on your shoulders, right? So that's not painful for you. So I'm gonna unrack the barbell. For sumo squat with barbell, you want a wide stance, greater than hip distance. You're gonna point your toes out at about 45-degree angle. And then when you squat down, you want to push your knees outward. And then that way this helps target your glutes. So that's a glute movement with the barbell sumo squat. So that's barbell sumo squat. And then another thing that I've been doing lately in this program is actually barbell calf raise. So let me just grab an attachment and show you what that looks like. So I just grabbed a couple of our, I don't know what these are called. They're part of the tib bar guy, the slant stack. I don't know what these are called necessarily, but it just creates an elevated surface there. And normally I would actually use a different type of bar for this, but it's a little cumbersome to get out, so I'm not gonna get it out. But basically this is just, barbell calf raise that you'll see right here. Yeah, so normally I'd be using a completely different type of barbell for this movement so that it's safer. But standard calf raise, right? So this is how I get that stretch in the calf, is by doing it on an elevated surface like this. Again, excuse the funkiness with that barbell. I normally would not be using that barbell. Let me actually just show you which barbell I would normally be using. So going over to our barbell rack. No clue what this type of barbell is called. Richard knows, but it's the one right here that has like the padding around the shoulder, and then it has the bars coming down so that you can hold it as well while you're doing the movement. So that's normally what I would be using for the barbell calf raise, but I didn't want to have to get that out right now. So those are a few barbell movements. Let me show you some attachment we have for barbell bench press as well within our squat rack. All right, I really quickly set that up, but basically for barbell bench press in the squat rack, we do have different type of arm attachments. Again, I don't know what these are called. I will have to ask Richard and maybe I can put it in the description later, but basically when you're doing your bench press with the barbell and have these arms, it's way easier to rack it because the arms like swing out and it's just much safer. So let me just show you what that looks like. So yeah, if you could see in the video there, basically, rather than having like the static arms to rack the barbell back onto, it has that swinging arm so that it's way easier for you to rack your barbell. But that's just an additional attachment that we have for the squat rack and specifically for the barbell bench press movement. And let me clean that up and then I'll go ahead and set something else up for you as well. Okay, so I have cleaned up the attachments there for the barbell bench press, as you saw. I will say having a home gym is a little bit more, I don't know, rough and ready, I guess, right? When you go to a commercial gym, everything's pretty easy to like clean up and use all the machines and stuff. Here, you know, you do have a little bit of work in terms of like actually doing setup for your movements, but it's all good. It doesn't like add a lot of time to your workouts or anything, especially if you have them structured the right way. So also with a barbell squat rack, you know, we have a bar at the top there. So obviously you can do pull-ups, which let's see if I can do a pull-up without any bands. That was pretty good. I haven't done a pull-up without bands in so long, so I'm really happy about that. And then I also wanted to just show another attachment on the squat rack here. So here's the attachment. You can see that it is attached to the squat rack on the side there. And this is for tricep dips. Which I also haven't done tricep dips in a long time, but let's see how strong I am or not. Oh my gosh, my bones were just cracking so much. Also, I didn't put the attachment high enough on the squat rack, so I didn't even get a good range of motion. But those are tricep dips with that attachment. Okay, so let's move on over to the belt squat. It's called the Rhino, actually. It is also just attached to our like whole squat rack contraption setup. Rogue, sponsor us. Here's the platform for the Rhino belt squat. And then, yeah, you can see it's like attached along the back there. And what you do is you add the weight on there. And then it's using the cable like pulley system for the belt squat. So let me show you that as well. All right, so we're gonna do belt squat here. Let me show you what I would normally do. So I'm gonna grab a plate. I'll just do a lightweight for this, just to showcase. You can also adjust the height in which you re-rack the Rhino as well, but I'm gonna leave it at the top here. And then we've got the belt, and you're gonna wrap it around you. I'm gonna hook it to this little bottom attachment here. So now I'm strapped into the belt. I'm gonna stand about hip distance apart, and I'm going to unrack. I don't know if that's the right term for a belt squat machine like this, the Rhino, but I'm gonna unrack it by standing up. You have to pull these bars back, and then from here, I'll be able to do the movement. So that is the belt squat. Feel like it's also a staple to have a belt squat, and it's pretty easy to set up and clean up. Okay, so next we have got our machine here. This is actually a recent purchase. We just got this year, and here I'm gonna do a lat pull down movement, and then I'll show you the seated cable row as well. So just for a lat pull down, you can see that there's already an attachment up there. We do have different bars for the lat pull down as well. Typically, I would probably use a wider grip bar, but I just didn't want to switch it out at the moment, so I'll just use this one, but it's pretty easy to use. Just gonna sit down here. I already have a lightweight selected just for demonstration, and just your standard lat pull down here. So that's that. And then we have the seated cable row, which let me adjust the camera and show you that. So the attachment is there at the bottom, as you can see. This we just leave on all the time because we end up using it so frequently. And then again, it uses the same like weight stack as well, since it's all part of the same machine, obviously. And then here, already have the attachment. So again, it's just a seated cable row. Oh, that felt good. Cracked my back a little bit. But that is the seated cable row. Okay, so we've got our functional trainer. This also is a recent purchase. We just purchased it this year. You guys, this is so versatile. There are so many movements that you could do on a functional trainer. It's probably one of the best purchases that we've made for the gym so far, in my opinion. So let me just show you some things that have been in some of my programs recently since we got this functional trainer. So I went over to get a little attachment. I'm gonna show you a cable face pulley. Switched out my attachment. Let me just adjust this some more. Put a lightweight on. The weight stacks are in the middle here. This is for the left arm and this is for the right arm. And let me just show you a high cable face pulley. This is to target your rear delts. So that's that. That's in my current program. I really like that exercise. Let me show you another rear delt movement. So again, I'm just gonna adjust all this as needed. Okay, this movement is a crossover for your rear delts, and it's actually surprisingly difficult after doing like so many reps in your sets. But I'm just gonna grab the cables, cross over my arms, keep my arms at chest height, and then we just go like this. So this is also to target your rear delts. And you can see here, I'm using both arms for that movement. Ooh, next, behind the back, crossover, lateral raises. These are killer. So again, gonna adjust the arms. I can only do 3 pounds on either side for this one, but you just get them crossed behind your back. Okay, stand up straight here. And this is for your shoulders, your lateral raises. Love that movement. It's so challenging. Another good one here is bicep curls. So I think Richard typically sits down on a bench and has the cables behind him like this. I just stand usually. So just to wait a little bit. I'm gonna leave them down here. And for this, we're just gonna do a bicep curl, but with a cable. So that's another great movement on here. It's also very challenging after doing like 4 sets of 15 on that. Okay, let me show you a tricep movement now. Let me just swap out my attachment again. I guess technically there's actually a couple of attachments that would work for tricep focus movement on this. This is the one I've been doing lately where you stand and you extend like that. I think it's called overhead tricep extension. So just stand like this, trying to keep your elbows still, and then you're gonna flare your arms out to get the tricep. However, another thing you could do, either with this attachment or with a bar would probably be better, but you could have the arm up a little bit more and you could do a tricep like pull down like this. So that's another tricep focused movement just with a functional trainer. Again, just showing its versatility. And then something else I've been doing is a cable front squat, which I never would have thought to do that on a functional trainer, but my coach added it to my program. So let me show you what attachment I use for that. So I actually use this bar attachment. I'm gonna lower the arm down all the way to the bottom, or to number 11. And then let me show you what the cable front squat looks like. Just the arm. I'm gonna hold the bar up at my chest, stand shoulder width apart, and then we just do a squat. So that's something else that's been in my program lately, and it actually is more challenging than I would have expected as well. But yeah, that's some good movement on this machine too. Yeah, so just to recap on the functional trainer, I showed you a bunch of different movements, but honestly, again, this machine is so versatile. There's so many different things you could do with it, but those were just some movements that I have in my current program. Even if you look at the machine, it shows you like different things that you can do. So finish up with a functional trainer. So you guys, my camera actually overheated, so I had to take an intermission. I attached a cooling fan to it, so let's see how well that works now. But now I'm over to the dumbbell section of our gym. Obviously, there's so many things you can do with dumbbells in your home gym. You know, that's how they did it back in the day. They didn't have a bunch of nice fancy machines and stuff. So let me just show you, I don't know, some things that are in my program right now with dumbbells, and obviously The world is your oyster with dumbbells though. There's so many things you could do. But let me just show you some things that are in my program. Okay, first up, lateral raise. So I've actually been sitting down lately when doing lateral raises just so I can really focus on this targeting my shoulders and not using my body to like help with momentum. So lateral raise, standard. Then we have shoulder press, which normally I would adjust the bench, you know, so it's up behind me, providing support on my back, but I'll just show you my shoulder press movement with dumbbells. And then we've got dumbbell bench press. So I have been doing dumbbell bench press in my program. I actually prefer dumbbell bench press over barbell bench press, and I feel like that's because dumbbell bench press to me seems more challenging than barbell. You can add a lot more weight with barbell, I think, but with dumbbell bench press, you like really, I don't know, it's just like you really need to have a lot of strength, in my opinion, to be able to hold each dumbbell and then do that movement. So, you know, just normal bench press. You don't want to have your arms like in a straight line. You do want them at an angle a little bit, and then you just do your bench press. Right now, I am up to being able to do 30s in each arm for my dumbbell bench press, so I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, and then what's next? Just to show you some leg movements with dumbbells as well. So there is Bulgarian split squat, of course. With Bulgarian split squat, you know, you can either make it quad focus or glute focus. So let's show quad focus first. So if you want quad focused Bulgarian split squat, you just want to make sure that you're standing straight up when you're doing the movement, and then that'll target your quads. And then if you want glute focus, you're going to slightly hinge forward. So you're like at a little bit of an angle. And I've seen people describe it as like you want to feel like you're like in an escalator when you're trying to do a glute focus Bulgarian split squat. And then a couple of other things, like there's goblet squat. I like that one, but I want to show you goblet squat on the bosu ball because I really like that movement. I used to do it when I made my own program as well. Okay, I have my bosu set up and goblet squat on the bosu ball to add some like additional challenge for your stability is really good. And you can use like a dumbbell for this as well. So you're gonna get on my bosu ball. I feel like bosu balls are so underrated, but like it's fun. And so I'm just gonna hold my dumbbell, have a little bit of a challenge with the bosu ball, and then I'm just gonna do a goblet squat. Oh, knee cracked. I like that one. Haven't done it in a long time, but I just wanted to show off the bosu ball a little bit. Okay, and then another good movement that's also in my current program is doing curtsy lunges, but on a slightly elevated surface. So I broke out the slant stack again to create that elevated surface. And again, I'm just gonna use dumbbells for this movement as well. Stepping on my elevated surface and our curtsy. So this is a glute focus movement. Let me just get my other side to even it out a little bit. So those are just a few dumbbell focus movements. Another extremely versatile set of equipment. So if you have a home gym and you don't have a lot of machines and stuff, dumbbells can always get the job done. and there's so many different movements you can do, and you can target every single part of your body as well with dumbbells. So those were just some that are in my current program or things that I like as well. Okay, as one of my second to last things, I want to show you some ab stuff that we have in the gym as well. So these are for hanging leg raises. This is part of my current program. Honestly, I don't like these, but hey, they are working out those abs, so it's good. So let me show you what that looks like. It's attached here on the bar. I'm just gonna slip my arms in there. And then normally I would like let my full body hang. And you know, with leg raises, you wanna think about not raising your legs up, but like curling your body, your abs, to really work them out. So that's for leg raises. And then we also have an ab roller thing. Okay, this is like definitely something you could just purchase and have at your house. And I feel like, again, it's just like another staple in like a home gym. And it's, you know, the ab roller thing. You get in like a push-up position basically. Oh my God. Oh, wow. I literally cannot do it. I have not tried using this ab roll in forever. Could have probably put in a little more effort and maybe done a rep, but there you go, ab roller. And then we also have just an exercise ball, which can be used for a number of things as well. Here's my big old exercise ball. I do like to do, like I used to do an ab movement on this where you just put your forearms and then it's similar. It's like rolling to work out those abs. But again, you can do like other stuff with an exercise ball. You can do like hamstring curls. You can do like, you can also just lay on the exercise ball for another ab crunches. You know, ton of stuff you can do with an exercise ball. I feel like that's a good thing to have in the home gym too. Ooh, so one other thing that I wanted to show for like abs or other just versatile movements is we do have a TRX attachment, which again is like, I don't know, something very simple you could add to your home gym and you could do a lot of different movements with it. So I've done some ab movements before. I've done like single leg squats, but there's so many other things you can do. Let me show you the little poster with all the exercises. So we add the TRX at the top of the bar here. We attach it to that yellow thing and you could just slide it to the middle and then the TRX would hang down from there. These are our TRX straps just on our wall there, right? And then we have this, it just came with it, but it's a little poster of different TRX movements. And yeah, very versatile again, and something that can be used pretty easily. Okay, everyone, I think that's a wrap on the full home gym tour that I wanted to do today, just focusing on highlighting some movements that are part of my program or just to, you know, show off all the different things we can do at our home gym. Obviously, we don't have a lot of machines here. We don't have a lot of cardio equipment. We do have a rower, but I like to use the Stairmaster for cardio, and that's what my coach wanted me to use as well. So I still do have like a monthly gym membership just for that. And then that's why I also have my one leg day at the gym too, so I can use some of the machines there. But you know, this home gym, a lot of thought went into it. I cannot take any credit for this whatsoever. It was all Richard. He bought everything secondhand, as far as I know. I think maybe the only thing he bought new was maybe some of the plates and maybe the bumper plates. Everything else, secondhand. The whole squat rack, the Rhino, the dumbbells, the two machines, the lat pull down cable row, and the functional trainer, all secondhand. So he definitely put a lot of thought into it, looked for the best deals too, because I know that gym equipment can be really expensive, but this was a culmination of like him doing a bunch of research, finding the best deals, and then by the time we moved into this house, what, like 3 years ago now, everything was almost ready, and we've slowly added stuff here and there, but that's it. That's the home gym. So we're so grateful for it. We love working out at home in our home gym. It has everything that we need for the most part. And yeah, it's just been amazing having this home gym. And my wish list item for our next home gym, because eventually we'll move out of this house into a house that has a little bit of a bigger garage, and I really want a hack squat leg press combo machine. So that's my like, ooh, if we have that in the home gym, that would be amazing. But right now, everything so far we have is already amazing. As you can see from the tour, it's so versatile. There are so many different movements that we could do in the home gym. And yeah, it's just awesome. So thanks for watching if you made it to the end. Next up, I'll probably be doing some mic'd up gym sessions at home, so I'm super excited about that. But yeah, happy Sunday. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed the home gym tour.